purchased this say about a week ago, and I've been playing around with it. It's a handy sharp, best sharp. I've watched the video on how to use it. There's actually 4 parts to that video, and yeah, I got an idea about what I was supposed to do, but I didn't really understand exactly what it was to sharpen with this thing until I started getting a feel for it. Now, once I got a feel for it, it's like a lot of tools. You got a learning curve, and then I started to kind of understand what I was supposed to be doing with it, and it was remarkable how well it would sharpen. And I thought I would tell you a few of the things that you need to be aware of when you buy one of these. The idea behind this is that you are literally scraping an edge onto the blade. This piece of carbide right here has 2 sharp edges on it, one on each side of the 90 degrees. So it doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed, it works fine. And then it has this V-notch, which is like a traditional draw through to sharpen the knife. And if it's in really bad shape and you need to straighten out a little bit of flatness on the blade or whatever, you can use this. You got to be careful using this thing not to put too much pressure and start setting up chatter in the blade, because it does happen. That was one of my first mistakes that I made. Another one is knowing the angle to hold this thing. Now notice I'm holding it right here around the H-A-N area right here. And you can set your hand in there like that, but don't gorilla grab this thing and expect that you're just going to start raking steel off, because it's not necessary. All right. One of the things that I ran across was I would either lay it too flat on the blade and it wasn't cutting like it should, or if you have it too up right, it doesn't cut right, and you should never push it. You should always pull it across the knife blade. And if you do this to the side of your finger and feel the edge of that, you'll start getting an understanding, a little muscle memory about how to use this. And if you watch the instructional videos, I mean, they're going like fast like this, and you can't control it like that in the beginning. You have to learn, you have to get that muscle memory down before you can speed it up. So don't just go flying, just raking it down the blade. It does you no good. Stay consistent going down the blade and feeling that edge, dragging across the cutting edge. Now, if you get too steep on the cutting edge, of course you're going to take it right off. If you get too flat, then it takes you a while, but you can put a different angle on the blade. You kind of want to try your best, and the older you get, the harder it is, believe me, to see, trying to maintain that edge angle that you already have on the knife. Now, I have this thing. I got this off of eBay at a steal. And when I tell you a steal, I mean, I think I got this for 99 cents with free shipping off one of those Chinese deals. And it is supposed to be Damascus steel, and it has stiletto carved in it. But this is a very cheap knife, and when I tell you it's cheap, that is no joke. This steel, this is, I believe, really an acid etch. It's not even really Damascus steel, and it's on this too, and this curly pattern is just not something that's natural to Damascus steel. So this is about as cheap a knife as you can possibly get. And if I do the paper test with this thing, let me get a little piece of it over here. If I do the paper test with this thing, it's not passing, I'll tell you that. It is terrible. I mean, this thing, it is just horrible. So what I thought I'd do is, and I suggest you do this, don't start out with one of your best hunting knives or whatever to sharpen. Get a cheap kitchen knife, something that you got laying around the house that is in miserable shape, and play with it and play with it and play with it till you get the feel for it. So this angle on this blade is somewhere around in here. So literally you can hear it. I am literally scraping the edge of the blade. And if you got it set at the right angle, notice I have a slight bit of tilt to it. That helps keep the chatter from setting up. Turn it to the other side, a few strokes, and you're looking to hit on that, sharpen on that edge. And it really doesn't take much. The harder steels takes a little more time. The cheaper it is. I mean, I'm not putting much pressure. I'm just kind of gliding this baby along, letting it do its thing. Lighter pressure, the further along you get, you start straightening out that burr on the end until it's gone. And then you can feel the edge and see. I feel like that there's still a little bit of a burr going in this direction. Let me work on this a little bit. Going in this direction. Yeah, that's better. Let's see. A little bit more. Straightening this baby out. And let's see. Paper test again. Already a huge improvement. Nothing great, but I mean, I only spent, what, maybe 30 seconds on that? So you start working on this and working on it, and you start getting that little hair edge on there, and before you know it, you can shave with it. I hold mine, you see how I got it. I mean, it's very lightly in my hand. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on it. And when you practice this on your finger, you can feel how much pressure you should be putting. Just raking that edge down your finger. If you do this as just practicing, you'll get a feel for how to hold it so that it balances, how much pressure to put. And remember, when you're on your last few passes, alternate back and forth. We're just trying to straighten out that little edge. I'm not going fast. I'm not whipping this thing. I just want to see if I can do a little bit of, look at that. I mean, look, no time at all. And this is a sorry, cheap piece of crap knife. The biggest deal about these things, sharpening with them, is the feel of it and knowing that you're striking the blade in the right place at the right motion, and you're staying consistent down the edge. $20, let me tell you what, for $20 you wouldn't believe how well you can sharpen the stuff around your house. And this thing, this carbide here, I was a machinist for 25 years, and I'm here to tell you this piece of carbide right here is going to last a long time, especially no more than you're cutting. Usually what breaks down carbide is the heat that you put in it, and you're not putting any heat in this at all. So you just continuously take even strokes. Now if you're looking at scissors, you watch that video on the scissors, you're going to stay on this flat that's right here on the blade. You see how that edge has a flat here, and then it has a slight angle here. So we just rake down that angle, and then rake down this side flat to take that burr off the inside edge. And this edge of this scissors will get so incredibly sharp. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can tell that this is sharp now. And it didn't take any more than that. You do that to a pair of scissors and they'll cut anything you got. Even little cheap piece of crap scissors like this. You see, these are even bent. You can sharpen these things up and they'll cut anything. Cheap steel is not a problem. Now, I will tell you that if you fool around with this and you sharpen, you're going to have your learning curve, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to make a mistake and you're going to actually knock your edge off the knife. And you're going to think, well, what the heck? You know, this thing was doing good, now all of a sudden it's dull as all get out. If you hit this at the wrong angle, if you hit it at the wrong angle, and you take that edge off, you can basically have just dulled it out, so you're starting all over again. Hold it, get that little scraping noise going on. Listen and feel. You should feel it cutting going down through there. It's nothing major, nothing hard. Watch the videos from Sharpens best on these, and keep in mind what you're looking for, what you're feeling for. Practice a feel of the edge cutting on your finger, and you'll master this thing in no time. You'll be looking for stuff to sharpen because it's fun to be successful at something. Have a good day. Thanks a lot.